Let's see what time it is. Hey, time for another live stream. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to Math Wizards 123. We're going to go ahead and dive back into finding an easier way to solve those long division problems today. As you're tuning in, I've got a problem here that you can take a look at. I want to see if you can find where the mistake is in this problem. So we're going to start off by searching for the mistake. Hi Jasmine. Welcome DJ. Glad to see you both back here. Now take a look here at how I've solved this one and see if you can find where the mistake is. I'm going to give you a little bit of time here to just look through that. Remember, everyone who is adding comments into the chat as we solve two problems together today, you will be entered into the raffle for a free Starbucks gift card, and that's going to be announced on Friday at the same time, 1 o'clock. So you can check back in to see who the winner is for the card. But take a look. I'll give you a hint. There's no mistakes over on this side. Take a look over here. I started off by pulling 10 groups of 53, so I subtracted 530 and that brought me to 341. So you can start there and see if you think I was accurate on the first step. If not, you can give me a quick shout out. And then the second step I took was to pull 5 groups of 53 out, which was 265 right here. After subtracting, I came up with 84 left in the pile. So you can check my work on that and see what you think. And the last step I took was to pull, since there was 84 in the pile that I saw here, I pulled one more group of 53 out of the pile and subtracted. Okay, so DJ is pointing me up here at 341 minus 265, saying it is not 84. Okay, so let's take a look right here. What do you think it should have been, DJ? It looks like I subtracted 1 minus 5, bringing me to 4. Okay, 76. So that, what we can do here is come over to the side. If we come up to an answer, and we're not sure if it's correct, we can redo any part of the problem. So here, if I'm subtracting, obviously, if I only have 1, I can't take 5 away. So this is a common mistake. Sometimes when we're subtracting is we kind of reverse it. So you're right, DJ, we would need to borrow here, and that would give me a 6, like I see in your answer there. And then we can't take 6 from 3, so again, we would have had to borrow there again. So 13 minus the 6 brings us to 7. Okay, so if this was incorrect right here, and what we should have had was 76 left in the pile, now how much should I pull out of the pile using my values that I have set up over here? Should I still pull the one group of 53 out? Because this is what I did right here. Okay, so one group, pulling away from 76 now, instead of pulling it from 84, and that brings me down to a remainder of 23. So instead of the 31, this problem should have been 16 remainder 23. Okay, give me a thumbs up if that makes sense, because it's really important to go back over our work after we solve problems and check and see if everything is accurate. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to solve two problems today, And we're going to move into a divisor that is 3 digits. So we're moving into larger numbers, and then we're going to put a larger number inside the doghouse as well. All right, thumbs up. I'm going to move to a new clean sheet of paper. Hopefully you have a sheet of paper with you in front of you. And I'm going to start with a 4-digit number inside the doghouse. So 4,276 is what we're going to start with today. 4,276. And we're going to divide this into groups that have 231 in each group. All right, so this is a larger number, and sometimes when we're doing it the standard way, it can be a little tricky when the divisor gets bigger. But I'm going to show you the same steps here that we've been using just our 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s timetables. And I'm just going to start with what is 1 times 231. That's pretty easy to solve. And then what would 2 groups of 231 be? So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4. So I could pull 231 out of the pile, 462 out of the pile. And I'm going to keep going with my 3s, 4s, and 5s. So I have 693 for 3 groups. Now we'll find out how much would 4 groups be. And I came to 924 for that. I'm going to just scooch down here since I'm running out of room up top. Now 5 groups of 231 would be 1,155. That's quite a big number. We might be able to use that because we have 4,000, over 4,000 in the pile here. So, but I want to try to get to the largest number possible that I can start pulling from the pile, because that'll help me to solve this faster. So I'm looking at this number right here, and then I just check out my values and say, well, I could adjust this to be, instead of 231, I could multiply by 10 and get 2,310. This could be 4,620. This could be 6,930, but those numbers are getting too big because I only have 4,276 in the pile. So I'm not going to bother adjusting these. I'm just going to start with this one right here and find out what would 10 groups of 231 be. Well, if I know one group is 231, 10 groups is just going to be adding a 0 here at the end of that answer. So 2,310, that sounds like a good number. It's larger even than this one. So I'm going to start by pulling this out of the pile, and that is 10 groups of 231. So we put our groups over here along the side. Those are going to be parts of our answer, or partial quotients. Our answer is going to be called the quotient. And then 10 groups of 231 is 2,310. So now when we subtract that, what do we have left in the pile that we can continue dividing and making groups? So I'm going to go ahead here and just subtract, and then I want you guys to check my subtraction here and see if you agree with me on this. Did you come up with 1,966 that's left in the pile? I'm already checking my numbers over here to see, what could I pull out next? I've got a 924 right here. That's pretty close to 1,000. This is going to be a little bit too big. Okay, I'm going to take DJ's suggestion and pull 5 out. 5 groups of 231 is 1,155. So let's take that out and see what's left. Okay, we still have 811 in the pile. We want to keep dividing until we can't divide anymore. So with 800, if I'm looking over here, 924, that would be too big. But my next number, yep, I agree with that. I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 more groups of 231 and take that out of the pile. Okay, so now I'm going to be careful here when subtracting. Okay, if I have 1, I can't take 3 away, so I'm going to borrow here, and see if you came up with 118. Hopefully that is making sense. I'm going to get this ready and set up. Now when I look at this number, it's less than my divisor, so I know I can't make any more groups of 231 if I only have 118. So I'm going to add up the parts of our answer here. 10 plus 5 is 15, plus 3 more gives me 18 altogether. And then I have this remainder of 118. Okay, great. All right, DJ, you came up with the same idea. Awesome. All right, now I have another problem that we can solve together. So I'm going to pull this away and set up a second problem and see what you think about this one. We're going to go with a number that is a little bit bigger. Okay, so let's see, what if we start with a number like this, 6,247. And we're going to divide this by 423. Did you make it to the beach yet, DJ? I know you were talking about that earlier in the week. That's where I'm headed this weekend, that's for sure. All right, 6,247. I'm going to start taking my divisor and just looking at it to find out, well, how much would one group of 423 be? How much would 2 groups be? 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, so I'm getting a bigger number here. As I move along, I keep looking at the numbers and just imagining, what if I adjusted this and wound up with a 0 at the end? That would be 4,230. So that's a possibility that we could pull out of this pile. If I look at this number, 846, if I imagine a 0 at the end, that would be 8,460. That's too much. So that wouldn't quite work, but I'm going to stop here. So instead of moving through all the numbers and multiplying this by 3 and 4 and 5, I'm going to stop here since I already have a good chunk that I can pull out. So I'm going to adjust this right now and just move straight to what I need, which is a good number, 4,230. That's going to make this pile quite a bit smaller. So I'm going to go with that and start with 10 groups. Yeah, I'm doing it. Oh, good. DJ, you did head to the beach. It's warm weather. Did you see any jellyfish? Hopefully not. I'm always scared when I first walk in the water. I'm always looking around. You don't want to bump into one of those guys. All right, 4 minus 3, 2 minus 2, and 6 minus 4. All right, so now I'm down to 2,017. Oh, yay. It's always fun collecting seashells. Are you... Oh, clams. Awesome. Yeah, it's fun to make a seashell collection. Oh, last year. Okay. Love, love, love going to the beach. Now, let's see. Okay, we have 2017. This is way too big, right? This number right here, 840, that's a good chunk that I could pull out of here. But I wonder if I jumped and doubled this, because I know 8 plus 8 is 16. So 16 would get me closer to these two front numbers here, because I need to get to a number that has 20 in the front. So what if we just jump right to 4? What do we get if we double this 846? So I'm doubling the 2 to 4, which will double our answer right here. So 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1. And then 4 times the 4. So that brought me to a number that is much closer to our pile, to what's in our pile. So I'm going to go ahead with 4 groups next and see where this takes us. 4 times 423. Okay, so that is 1,692. And then we can subtract here. 7 minus 2. I definitely am going to need to borrow here. My neighbor doesn't have anything, so I'm going to go all the way over to this guy. Put the one I borrowed there, and now we can borrow. So I have 11 minus 9, bringing me to 2, 9 minus the 6, and I'm down to 325. 14 remainder. Oh, okay, I see how you're writing it as a fraction. Love that. Okay, so we can write our remainder. 10 and 4, I'm just going to add my parts of my quotient together. So now I have a full answer, 14. But we have the remainder of 325. This is not enough to make another group of 423. And I see that DJ also wrote this as a fraction. So we can place the remainder over, saying we have 325 out of what we need. What we need is 423 to make another group, but we only have this much of that. All right, so this can be written that way. All right, guys. All right, I'm going to end this stream here today, and just remember, everybody that was helping here is going to have your name entered back into another entry into the drawing. We're announcing on Friday, and if you join me tomorrow, we're going to take this a little step further, and we're going to see how this strategy can help you to solve problems that where we are dividing with decimals, and see how that works. All right, so I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Have some fun, do something fun, and I will see you back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Bye, DJ.